I'll send you my just.
Oh, are we recording?
We are. For Alan's sister.
Recording or live streaming?
Well, kind of both, but it's recording. Okay, I think that's good.
Okay.
Well, I know that I speak for not only everyone in this room and the clergy team as well, who are going to lead the service in expressing how important it is for us to be a family, for you, Alan, and for each other. I look around this room now, where a group of people who work and live with you every day and people who care about you all the time. There's a circle with a very tight staff and then some of us beyond that too. When I look around this room, I know that that many of us, that you've come to our homes and that all of us carry moments where we were truly comforted by the presence of others. We want to do that for you. And we met your mom. I had your mom to dinner at my house. Yes. And Dad. And she brought vanilla because she was a chemist, right?
She worked for a flavor
company. But
yeah.
Yep. And that was just so fun, I thought. And I just enjoyed it very, very much. And I hope that we can continue to be a supportive community for you, because I think all of us know, and I know everybody here carries some losses in their, in their hearts, that coming for Shiva is one pausing point in a journey that has no map. And there are a lot of different times when we meet friends, and here they are. We hope that the service will be a tribute to your mom, but also to the appreciation we have for you. And we have an opportunity for a little bit of evening worship and some opportunity for you to help us remember your mom.
So some of the prayers of the evening service help to give a little bit of structure to our presence here for Alan. So we're going to turn to page 4A, 4 of our who and rise. And let's read together on page 16. All goodness and truth
are your words, O God. May no evil estrange us from you. Let error not confound us. Help us understand your will. In adversity and prosperity, may your law be our light. May our deeds reflect your love. Baruch atah Adonai, Oded B'Amo Yisrael.
Shema. Page 9b. Anna she wrote these words. She wrote about things that even in the face of loss, things in our world that we can still count on to take care, even after all of us are gone. Page 13 for the Shiva and rise.
Open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Ha'gadol Ha'gibor Ha'anochah, El Elyon, Goel Hasadim Tovim, Degonei Hakol, V'zocher Hasel Otim Hamon, maybe you love in Mayhem, Leman Shemo Yahweh, Melekoter Moshiach, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ezrat Sarah, Tani Borei Olam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol, Atara Moshiach, Mashiach Ruach, U'orim Hashem, Mechake Chaim B'Chesed, Mechaye Hakol B'Racham, Somet Noflim B'Rofet Holim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mechaye Emernato, B'Shekei Afar, Michamo Chapal Gevurot, U'Midom Melech, Melech Menim Mechaye, U'Mashiach Yeshua, Nerman Azal Hayot Hako, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye Hakol. Kadosh, Kadosh B'Kol Yom Yahweh Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Pray silently for a few moments and see it when each of us is ready. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael, Asim Leolam. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael, Asim Leolam. Ki atah melech gadol, v'kol hashalom. Ki atah melech gadol, v'kol hashalom. Shalom Yisrael, Asim Leolam. Shalom Yisrael, Asim Leolam. So Enecha Levarech, Et Amcha Yisrael, V'modeinu V'kosha, B'shlomecha. Shalom Yisrael, Asim Leolam. Shalom Yisrael, Asim Leolam. Asim Leolam. Asim
We turn now to the section of morning of Psalms and readings in the back of our prayer book. You can turn to page 29A. This is a chance to link Elissa's life to the generations of Jews before her that looked to the Psalms and to modern poetry to help us connect to all those traditions of Judaism. And we have different Psalms, we have different modern readings, and even other readings from the Bible, such as Proverbs. And one that I know that actually is meaningful to Alan that I wanted to share with you. It's not in the prayer book, but I'm going to do it for you now. It's a modern interpretation of Eshet Chayil, a woman of valor, and it comes from Proverbs. And perhaps we think of Elissa in this way. It says, a mother of generations, a woman of valor. She is precious in her gifts that she gave to our family. Her children have found trust and truth in these gifts. We follow in patterns that she taught. She is robed in strength and dignity, and she smiles at the future. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. We benefit and learn from her wisdom. May she always be credited for the first of her labor and her achievements, for the fruit of her labor and her achievements. May she live on in glory. And the Psalms teach us many different things. One of them is to find hope and comfort. And so on page 29a, Psalm 121, is the psalmist saying, I lift my eyes to the mountains. And where do we find our help? We find it from our inner strength from God on high. And we link this song that Rachel and I will sing with Jeff to Psalm 27, Achat Sha'alti, which is not in your book, but the translation is, and I think it's beautiful, reminding us of someone who, while we're thinking of finding comfort and hope in your pain, Alan, that your mom is with God. And the Psalm 27 says, one thing have I desired of God, that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of God all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of God, and to see you in your holy temple. So this is a duet between Sinai and Psalm 27. And I believe on the page before, 28b, is this wonderful poem, beautiful poem by America Lloyd, a poet who, this poem, these words, Alan, are a favorite of yours. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. Now you're going to speak for a little bit about your mom.
I'll try. First, I want to say how deeply, I don't know if I can do this, how deeply grateful I am that you're all here. It means a lot to me. And this is my home, this is my community. Thank you for being here. Everybody should be blessed to have a Shiva service like this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're praying the Avot prayer, which really talks about the transmission of God's relationship with each individual through our peoplehood. And I am who I am because of my mom. And it's easy to add an LOA for her and then an LOA for me. She was the one who held our family together. Times were difficult financially. My dad was a carpenter and worked from contract job to contract job, and brilliantly she held things together financially and made it work, and stretched and saved and scrimped. She worked part-time for many years at a mortgage company, so she was good with numbers, and then she worked for a number of years in a flavor company doing their books. The vanilla was great, yeah. And we never felt it. And she afforded every opportunity to me and my sister. And when I said, I want to go on a choir tour of Europe with this high school group, she said, let's make it happen. And so many other things along the line for all of us. And she was like a typical Jewish mother. Definitely had her controlling side. But you know, I didn't know any different. It was all good. And I remember just her always being there. And I remember as a kid just sleeping in on a weekend morning and hearing her making breakfast for everybody in the kitchen, and just being comforted by those sounds, like, oh, I can lay in bed until like she makes me come out and have breakfast. Like, but all my life has been like that. She's always been there. We continued to talk through Skype. We did a lot of Skyping when I moved away, and I look forward to those conversations, and I really miss them now. I'll have a quiet night. It's like, oh, this would be a good time. No, I can't do that. That's hard. I'm trying to figure out what shalom means now. She always said she would outlive my dad so that she could take care of him. He had advanced Alzheimer's, and she said she would wanted to be around to be able to take care of him. But something happened to her physically, and we still don't know what it was. Over her last few months, she had a knee replacement. She did great rehab with that. She had a second knee replacement, and she never recovered well from that. And it was very hard for her to move. It was hard for her to lift her legs for whatever reason. I mean, we think it was kidney failure. And we knew that dialysis was a decision that she was going to have to make, and we had an amazing Thanksgiving this year together. She was weak, but she was singing, and we had a beautiful family time together. So it's nice that all the grandkids have that memory to hold on to. And she made this big announcement, and she said she'll do dialysis if she has to. But I think just the physical difficulty got the best of her. It was really hard for her being the caregiver of my dad for years. And I'm amazed and awed and inspired by what she did with her life out of her deep love for him. She complained a lot, and she said, I don't want to be doing this, but boy, did she do it well. And in the end, she went to the hospital, and they said she needed dialysis, and she said no. And I think she knew it was time. She just didn't have any more energy, and we respected her wishes, and she died 4 days later. So it was much sooner than we had expected. She was in the hospital when I was at the biennial convention, and then I got the call, and went back home the next day, and I asked my dad, I asked him if he wanted to go see her. And he said, I'm really, really sorry to tell you, my mother died yesterday. Sometimes he's mother, sometimes he's wife. It's like he knew, even though she hadn't died yet. I think she was waiting for me and the family to all be there. And we all told her how much we loved her, and that we'll take care of things, and we'll take care of Dad, and make sure that he gets the best care we can give him, and it's okay to let go. And she did the next day. She will always be an inspiration in my life, family and love at the core. She was the one who made family happen for us. And for so many other members of our extended family, she'd reach out to cousins that got disenfranchised and stay connected. You know, there's someone like that in every family. Keeps those connections. She was the keeper of the connections. And now, like, my sister and I are going, all right, what are we going to do? But we have her phone book, and we have the names of everybody. She was good. She wrote on the back of old pictures, like, it was who all the people were. So we don't have to refigure it out. Like, she planned all this. And she had her funeral plan as well. Every detail was taken care of for her and for my dad when his time will come. Just an inspiration of endless love and the value of family. So I'm grateful to carry that with me. That's enough.
But it's you know, it was hard for us to see you there and know that we couldn't embrace you and be the support that you needed. So I'm glad that you wanted to have this.
This is so wonderful and a perfect way to end this period of Shoshi. This is the end of the 30 days since she died. Hard to believe that it happened so quickly. But I knew that you were all thinking of me. That was the source of strength.
We want to sing, because that's what we do, right? Please.
Can I just share something? I just wanted to say that I just had the loveliest conversation with her after your horrendous being hit by the car.
Yes.
At the Mosaic, and after your recuperation, she called me and she said, I can't believe how wonderful Alan's congregation has been for
You all have been so wonderful and taking such good care of him, and I want to do something for his congregation. I thought that was so lovely. She said, I don't want to just give a donation. I want to give something. And so she gave us 2 wheelchairs.
Yeah.
One of which has disappeared. I can't believe that.
No doubt someone is reading somewhere. I'm sure they
wheelchairs, and I just thought it was the most generous, loving gift. And it was just so kind and thoughtful of her. And I just want to share that.
Thank you.
She was just such a lovely person. And she was, and you were her little boy.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Her favorite.
Favorite son.
Yeah.
favorite son.
Well, we're gonna, on page 31B is the song. It really needs no introduction. The words from Hannah Senish and music by Jeff. Shoram Magia Arsa Rakasher Isharashi Shisi Karame Asher Matmanam Olo Ebe Eshkat Alai
There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light. On the earth, the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up our darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember.
We turn now from prayer 3A to the prayer outlay from our prayer of final farewell out to your mom. And it is really a gift that we give to her for all the gifts that she gave to you and your family, and thus to us through the gift of who you are and who you are to our congregation and our temple family. Because of the way that she lit up the world for you, and thus for all of us, we hope that she is now wrapped in the loving arms of God and the everlasting life. So please welcome. El Malebrahami, Shoten Maromi, Ametsei Meluchan Kona, Tachat Hanfe Hashechina, Im Kedoshim Uteomim, Kezor Harakiam Ma'asim El Nishmat, El Kachaya, Batzvi Ariel Yehudit, Shehalcha Le'olama. Baal HaRachamim, Yasireh V'Setev Nafo Le'olamim. Mitzvah, mitzvah, ha'chayim v'nishmatam. Adonai ha'nachalatam. V'tanuach v'shalom ha'mishkava. V'nomar Amen. God, full of compassion, dwell in the heights and in the depths, grant perfect rest under the wings of your presence to Elissa and Peter, our loved one who has entered eternity. Let her find refuge forever in the shadow of your wings, and let her soul be bound up in the bond of eternal life. For you, the everlasting God, are her inheritance. May she rest in peace, and let us say,
Amen.
As we prepare to recite Kaddish Yatam, in addition to your mom, we think about many people whose lives ended this season or within the circle, the close circle of friends of Temple family members. Before we recite the ancient words of the Kaddish, won't you join me in the English prayer on page 33b at the bottom? Eternal God,
You are close to the hearts of the sorrowing. You strengthen and console them with the warmth of your love, and with the assurance that the human spirit is enjoying in this struggle. Even as we pray for perfect peace for those whose lives are ended, so do we ask you to give comfort and courage to the living. May the knowledge of your nearness be our strength, O God, for you are with us at all times, in joy and sorrow, light and darkness, in life and death.
on the next page, those who wish in joining Alan in strengthening and supporting them in this recitation of Kaddish.
Gadol v'yikadosh shmei Rabbah, v'yamad v'yirach yirtei yamid maltei, v'chayekon v'yomekon, v'chayekon beit Yisrael, v'alav b'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yemei shmei Rabbah v'barach le'olam v'yibarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yomam v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalel v'yitalal shmei v'yishal v'yikol. Le'olam mimko v'yirata v'shirata, tishbachata v'nehemata, ta'viram v'yamam v'yibru amen. Yehei shalom hara v'nishmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yibru amen. Oseh shalom v'mamah, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yibru amen.
May the source of peace and comfort and strength and love to everyone who is receiving, to the members of your family, all those people who love you, and to all people in the world who need strength after loss. And let's say,
Amen.
Oseh
Shalom hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yibru amen.